Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the show here, Stock Markets with Bruce, where we try to talk about the stock markets in plain English, and we talk about how to make money writing options, a lot of money making writing options. It's September the 15th. It's the middle of the month. It's Thursday. We are here in the good old 2022. When you're born in 1955 and you grow up and all your life people say, well, when were you born? 1955. It's 1973. I'm 18 now. 1983. I'm 28. You're 19 is in there, like 1980, 1985, 1990. It takes a long time to go from 1955 to 2000. It took 55 years. So for 55 years, you're thinking 19. Now for the last 22 years, I have to think 2019. I have to think about what year it is and what year I was born and what year I did this and what year I did that. It's not easy. I mean, the older you get, the more difficult it is. It's more complicated. I was just watching a video on YouTube, which I do all the time. I'm always on YouTube a lot. And I follow a guy occasionally, but I have followed this guy probably for 6 or 7 years, longer than I've been on the air. Maybe longer, but his name is Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary V is what he's known as. He's a social media, they call him a guru. The guy's an expert at what is happening now, what is currently going on, deep into analyzing social media trends and you name it. But he's also a very good motivator. He's a very good, I call him, I'll even say a realist. The guy will get in front of an audience, and within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, he will convince that audience, or he will help that audience understand what they are to be focusing on and not focusing on if you want to be successful in, say, social media. And the clip I was just watching was it just comes to the core for a guy like me. And it allows me to pass it on to you. I get to pass on to you the wisdom that this guy passes on to an audience, where what he's saying is, you want to be successful in what you do, be yourself, and don't be somebody else. And don't try to be somebody else, just try to be yourself. And I love that because as a creator that I am, I'm a YouTube creator. I'm here every day as myself and try to give you folks my knowledge of the markets, the experience I've built up over decades. I just try to kind of regurgitate back to you in a plain English way, which is that's my shtick. And if I can help you understand the markets and the world economy and the impact it'll have, then I'm doing my job. If I am able to help you understand how options trading, functions, how it works, the psychology of options trading, and then help you to understand how to write call options and why writing options is a conservative strategy that will pay off in the long run many times over, versus gambling away your dollars on long shot bets that have zero chance or a very slim chance of any kind of success. That's me doing my job, but I do it in my way. I remember when I first started going live on this channel back in January of 2021. A lot of people who joined in when the craze of GameStop was happening and all the meme stocks were exploding and Wall Street bets was going crazy. Everything was happening. How my channel just exploded, like many other channels exploded, because there were millions of people looking for a place to go for information and clear, concise news and stuff. People were saying to me, Bruce, you just sit there in front of this camera, which is my computer. You're just sitting there and you're just talking. Where's the, why don't you put on like a quote machine thing? And why don't you put yourself in the bottom corner over here and then have all these quotes going around so that, people can watch the markets while they watch you. And I'm thinking, no, if I do that, they're watching the quotes. They're not even listening to me. I realized early on that my success came from the fact that people were listening to my voice. They weren't looking at the face of Made for Radio. They were just listening to the vocal, and they were going about their business listening to what Uncle Bruce was saying. Many of you were listening to me going to work, either driving or commuting to work, and you have me on some kind of an electric device with headphones, and you're just listening to me there. And it makes sense. It makes sense because I'm somewhat visual with my hand gestures and everything else, but a lot of what I'm about is just my vocal. What I'm trying to explain to you is going on in the world at large, and that's me being me. That's my style. It's basic. It's not sexy, but it's unique to myself. And I mentioned that to you guys today to. I'm kind of following up on what happened last night. And it happened yesterday during the show and so on. But I for those of you who are not the Gold Bagel members of this family, if you're not one of these guys, I'm pointing right now to the Gold Bagel logo on my screen. For those of you on radio, if you're not a Gold Bagel member, you are. I'm being biased when I say this. You're missing out. And you're missing out on one thing in particular, and that's the Wednesday night primetime show. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, I go live for Gold Bagel members only. The markets are closed. There's no interruptions about news and all that stuff. It's just this guy, me, talking to a handful of people compared to the thousands and thousands that watch me all the time. And it's as close as you're going to get to a one-on-one session with yours truly for nothing. I mean, yeah, you have to pay about, what is it? It's about $25 a month to be a Gold Bagel member. Like, whoop-de-doo. If you can't afford $25 a month to be a Gold Bagel member, get out of the markets, because you can't afford to make money. But for those of you who are Gold Bagel members, you know that, yes, I get the Trade Alert show every morning from Bruce. That even before 8:30, he does that. Then he does the Wednesday night primetime live show, and I get to watch that for $25 versus roughly $10 being a chillin' with Uncle Bruce member. Instead of just being able to comment for $10 a month, you can be involved in these two additional features, which turns out to be a roughly 20 alert shows a month and usually four live primetime shows. So that's 24 additional vignettes of time with yours truly for an increase of what, $15 a month, roughly, depending on where you live, your currencies and all that. It's all different. I don't handle that. YouTube handles all of that. I offer the memberships. YouTube handles how it works. And I thank you for those of you who are members of the channel or Gold Bagel members. If you're a Gold Bagel member and you were here last night, or if you're a Gold Bagel member and you watched last night's show since last night, which you're able to do, I have to add some information to you guys, and I'm going to come clean with all of you up there to just let you know. Look, I get asked all the time, and you all see the questions that come here from people who right now are members or not members at this moment, asking me questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm noticing that more and more and more, or on a consistent basis, I guess I'm noticing this. I'm not picking on anyone, by the way. This is just me saying in general. There are people asking me questions about what to do in the markets, and they're getting more and more complicated questions. They're not keeping it simple, which is what I really adhere to. I like the expression, keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. I like talking here to help you make money in the market. I like talking about writing call options. And all the reasons are out there. You should know by now why I like talking about just writing call options. And you don't have to get any more complicated than that. But I get questions all the time about, well, what about doing this? And what about doing that? And what about doing that? And what about doing that? And I'll go into certain areas and, down the road, little forks in the road. And I'll say, well, you can look at this and you can look at that. But I try to steer you back to the main highway that we're on, because the markets are a very, very complex place. And there are hedge funds out there managing trillions of, I mean, hedge funds manage trillions of dollars, all right? Tens of trillions. But there are certain hedge funds, some hedge funds, individual hedge funds, and departments inside hedge funds where virtually a majority of all decisions, trading decisions, are made by computers, are made by software programs developed for that hedge fund under contract by software writers and financial analysts and experts and you name it. And there are charting people, there are momentum people, there are fundamental type people. There are all these analysts out there who analyze the markets in minutiae ways, sliver by sliver by sliver, putting it all together in some kind of a complex overall computer type program that in effect says to the hedge fund, buy and sell, buy and sell. And the orders are entered by the computers themselves. There are just what I call kids, younger than I, because I'm going to be 67 shortly, kids younger than I sitting in front of terminals and monitors, monitoring the computer system, not the markets, monitoring the computer system, which is trading the markets. And we're talking about trillions of dollars changing hands every day by these complex systems. And I say, great, knock yourself out, trade all you want, good luck to you. But when it comes down to the basic and to the one little thing, you remember that movie with Billy Crystal when he went out trail riding with his buddies to round up the cattle, and he met Jack Palance, and Jack Palance says, "There's just one thing. Just remember one thing." And he's going, "What is that one thing?" The one thing here is I keep it really simple, and I try to tell individual people, which is what almost all of you are out there. All of you watching me are individual people. Some of you are couples, husbands and wives, and boyfriends and girlfriends, and what you name it. But it's mainly to individuals. I don't get exposed to institutional investors and mutual fund trader managers and all. These guys don't watch me. Are you kidding me? They've got advisors they pay thousands of dollars to a day to talk to them. Because since they pay that much money, they must be good. They're not going to listen to this old fart sitting in a hotel room somewhere who hasn't shaved for a few days because he doesn't have to. Anyway, I keep it simple, and I talk to people one-on-one, and I try to keep you guys on a simple path of success. And I try to keep you away from complicated structural moves and all kinds of other stuff, even though you are bombarded when you aren't with me for those 20-something hours every day that you're not with me. You are vulnerable to being attacked and hustled by all kinds of other parties who want to get your attention and who want to get a sliver of your wealth. They either want you just to subscribe to a newsletter or buy my course or listen to me for a little bit, to listen to the ads all around me, whatever it is. Eyeballs are eyeballs, okay? Eyeballs are valuable to everyone out there. And although I don't have 20,000 people at a time watching me live, I have eyeballs who watch me, and I have ears listening to what I say. And what I keep doing is I keep coming back to being myself and talking to you about keeping it simple on what it is you're doing. And the worst thing you can do, and I've seen this, again, I'm just bringing the experience at you. I have seen this in my own life, in my own relatives and friends and associates. I've seen this with my employees. When I used to be a branch manager and vice president of a brokerage firm, I had 40 people working for me that I was trying to corral and keep going. I've seen this time and time again, where people lose their way and they're successful, they're smart, they're intelligent, they're hard workers, they're loyal, they're honest, they're everything, and they don't make money on a consistent basis because they make mistakes. Everything they do right wins is wiped out by one mistake or two mistakes because they get too complicated. They try to do too much with what they have. In hockey, in hockey, if you're a defenseman and you have the puck behind your net, and in front of you are 5 opponents who are waiting to see what you're going to do with it, the coach will say to you, just shoot the puck along the boards. Just get it out of the zone. Shoot it up along the boards. Why? Because the rest of the ice is way over there, and there's this board here and the ice. If you shoot the puck along the boards, the chances are that those 5 guys out there with those hockey sticks, or the 5 female players, if you're a female player, cannot stop you from getting the puck out of your end by you shooting it out. And especially if you're, in your end and you're skating back to your puck and there are 2 people chasing you, all you got to do is backhand it along the boards or shoot it all the way around the other side of the boards. Get the puck out of the zone. Simple, simple, simple. Every coach tells every hockey player to do that, except one hockey player didn't have to do that. All the others had to do that, and they're all told to do that. And we're talking Hall of Fame greats who do that, or were told to do that, except for one. The one guy who could do whatever he wanted, and the coach would never question his motives, was Bobby Orr, who was a defenseman, but he could skate like a forward, and he could handle the puck like a magician. And he was tough. He was very difficult to knock off the puck. That was the one guy. That guy could do whatever he wants because he's Bobby Orr. And he proved to the world during his 10-year, a shortened career because of knee injuries, but during his 10-year career, he was the best hockey player ever to hit the ice at that point in time. And he could either shoot the puck along the boards, which he did many a time, or he would stick handle his way out around 3 guys in his zone and get out of the zone. The coach behind the bench would be nervously watching him do it, but deep down inside, the coach went, oh man, does he make those guys look stupid? Because these players think that they can out-fancy this guy. He would usually keep it simple. He went with the KISS method many a time. He knew when and he knew when not to. He's the only one who could do that. There are other players who occasionally did this, would try this stunt and be successful, and the crowd would really appreciate it. The coaches would be panicked because they knew the odds are 1 in 10 he's going to be able to pull this off without losing the puck in his zone. And now there are 3 players and the goalie with the puck, and this is bad news. The puck's going to end up in the net. Keeping it simple is the way to go, and staying true to what you're about is the way to go. So I'm not Bobby Orr. You're not Bobby Orr. We're just investors. We're just people. I'm a guy watching the market with 40, 50 years experience. You are the ones who are trading your accounts. You're coming to me going, hey, buddy, in plain English, tell me what the hell to do. Help me. I don't understand what's going on. There's all kinds of stuff happening here. Help me understand what this market is all about. And my job is to try to keep you away from making stupid mistakes. That's my number one job, is to make, on the investment side, on your investment side, I got to keep you away from making dumb mistakes. I've got to also explain to you in plain English so that you get it. And some of you have said or thinking, he does the same thing all the time. The guy's boring as hell. He's always saying the same thing all the time. Yep, just like the coach, saying the same thing all the time. The coach gets paid $2 million a year, $5 million a year, whatever these coaches get paid in the NFL, baseball, basketball, hockey, college football, whatever. They get paid all this money. And what do they talk about? The fundamentals of the game. And that's all they're driving into the heads of their players, the fundamentals of the game. And the good news is that the players who do this for the rest of their lives stick with the fundamentals in whatever it is they do from then on. I remember hearing a story about the coach of the Green Bay Packers, Vince Lombardi. I've heard many stories about Vince Lombardi, but the one story that affected me, that I heard when I was in my 20s and has stuck with me, was how many of his players that played for this guy went on to be extremely successful after they quit playing football due to injury, retirement, old age, whatever. They got traded, eventually quit the game, couldn't make the cut anymore. These kids, because he was in his 40s, 50s, and 60s when he coached, He was telling 20-something and 30-something-year-old guys, teaching them the fundamentals of the game and the secret to life itself. Keep it simple, stupid, and be dedicated, be thorough, hardworking, and always be willing to absorb new information. Never believing that you know it all, but keeping it simple and going down the line and doing what you can do best. Doing what you can do best, and don't go out, don't stray away from that. And I remember Bart Starr and other athletes of his talking about their afterlife, after football life, and how as fathers, husbands, business people, as human beings, how they were better for it. And for the rest of their lives, they would keep hearing that voice and that message, and they would get off track a little. They go right back to the middle of the road and stay there, knowing this is what the coach would tell me to do. This is what the coach would be telling me right now. No, don't go do that. Get back to what you're doing best. When the coach was diagnosed with cancer, he left Green Bay. I think he was coaching the Washington Redskins, I believe, at the time, and he came down with cancer, and he had months to live because it was grim. He was in his hospital bed, and for about a month, the watch was on that he was gonna pass, and Mr. Lombardi had visitors come to his room, and one after another, the players came back, one after another. Now, these guys are, 6'2", 6'4", 250 pounds, players or retired players. One after the other, they came back to say goodbye one more time and thank him for the advice that he drove into those skulls for years. And they hated him as a coach. They hated working because there was no easy way to get it done other than the Vince Lombardi way. And when you're the guy on the ground and chewing grass, it's hard work. But after it was all said and done, they all admitted to themselves, best thing ever happened to me. The one person that has really, taken care of, ensured that I understand what life is about and what's the best path forward. So the success rate of his kids was extremely high in business and in life after their careers, after having had him as a coach. And one by one, they paid their respects in the hospital to visit him one last time. And of course, the Super Bowl is the Vince Lombardi Trophy. There's a reason it's called that. I'm not Vince Lombardi, just a guy who sits in front of a computer that has a camera in it that simply talks about the market and simply tries to explain to you what the hell is going on. And it is really complicated. And there's a lot of shit happening out there. It's bad. There's a lot of bad stuff going on. And I'm sorry to say that the 20 whatever hours you're not with me, and you can't be with me 24/7. The other hours that you're not here, you're going to be, I don't want to use the word attacked. That's not the right word, but you're going to be approached. You're going to be exposed to, you're going to hear other opinions on what is or is not happening out there. And if you fall for everything is fine, don't worry about it, everything's going to be great, you fall for that line, you are in big trouble. But I don't think you are. You keep coming back here, listening to this old man talk, and you're reacting to what I'm saying, and we're building a rapport. But I keep saying the same thing all the time. And don't look for me to change everything, because I'm just going to be myself. I'm always going to be myself. But last night, as I was saying a moment ago, I have to make a confession that it's not really a confession, but I have to say, last night I was getting questions from my Gold Bagel members about option writing in the markets. And we were going down some tangents. And we went down a few tangents last night, which I'm happy to do. But I forgot to mention, or maybe I didn't mention enough, that, hey, kids, when it's all said and done, we have to come back to the road that we're on, that we should stay on, the main highway of how to make money in this market. And the way to make money in this market is to not make mistakes and not do things that we don't understand, but it is to do things we do understand and things that you are going to learn how to understand. And that's the other thing about this channel. It's an educational channel, I hope, where a lot of you are going, oh, that's what that means. Oh, I had no idea. Oh, that's what he's talking about. You're taking my classes and you're realizing, wow, there's a lot more to this than just watching him for an hour, hour and a half a day, whatever it is. There's 15 minutes a day before I can't stand him anymore. I watch his classes and boy, is there stuff in there. And then I do a one-on-one with this guy and oh my God, I'm just overwhelmed with what he is bringing to me. Because once he understands my situation, my story, my circumstances of what is in my life, he gets it. He's been doing this since the 70s, and now he's zeroing in on my world and helping me figure out what my options are. And they are generally speaking simple solutions. I don't come to you with very complicated things that you should do and this and that and everything. I come right down to just whittling out all the crap and coming down to where you should be. Where is that roadway you were on at one time that you've gotten off on? You took a wrong turn in Albuquerque, maybe. I got to get you back on track. And last night, I didn't do that enough. I did that somewhat, but I may not have pushed hard enough with my Gold Bagel members yesterday to say, hey, guys, we talked about this, we talked about this, we talked about this. But at the end of the day, how are you going to make money in this market? You're going to make money in this market by being right, not wrong. And how are you going to be right? You're going to be right by being the one individual out of thousands. There's right now 225 of you. You're going to be the 225 people out of millions of investors out there who aren't going to make the mistake of trying to outread and outsmart the market. You're going to basically be the individuals who are going to be doing probably the most conservative transactions in the market, knowing that the other side of your transaction, those on the other side of your transaction are the gamblers. They are the risk takers. They are, as I keep saying, the desperados. And look, some of you are in tough economic situations. Some of you are coming out of it. Some of you are comfortable. Some of you are very comfortable. I have all kinds of viewers here. But I have to tell you that the people playing the market opposite you are either institutional investors or other individuals. The individuals that you're up against, and there are millions, tens of millions of these, there are a certain number of those who are really in trouble. They are in big trouble, and they are making bets they shouldn't be making. They are investing in a market they shouldn't be investing in. If you've ever been to the racetrack over the years, and maybe many of you haven't been to a racetrack because they are disappearing across North America, but you've been in casinos, whether they're Indian tribe casinos or Las Vegas or Atlantic City or somewhere in Canada, you're in one of the casinos. When you go to a casino and you walk around, you've been there for a few minutes, you let the lights, hit you and all the action and all the sounds and everything else. And once you get used to that, you begin to people watch. And if you've ever people watched in a casino, you've begun to notice, especially in Vegas, like the third day you're there, the second day, the third day, the fourth day you're there, you really notice it. Who shouldn't be there? You begin to realize in the casino who shouldn't be here. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes you say, I shouldn't be here. I got to get out of here. I got to go home. But you look around the room and you'll go, oh my God. Why is that person here? Well, that person is doing stuff that shouldn't. They're looking for the payoff. They're looking for a lottery win. The desperados. And some of these folks are very successful in what it is they do, whatever it is they do, wherever they do it. But in Vegas, they're not successful. They're hugely profitable for the casinos because they're doing stuff in casinos that they would never do in their personal lives with the business that they are best suited to do. And you see this in this market here where we are. You are writing stock options, and you're writing stock options that have very little time left to go before they expire. You're generally writing out of the money call options. That means they are worthless. They have no book value whatsoever. The only value they've got is the time they have left to live. And you are securing dollar bills from gamblers that in many cases, you can't believe how much money they're handing you. You can't believe that someone is actually paying this much money for this contract that is out of the money with only 7 trading days left to go, or 5 trading days, or 14 trading days, whatever the number is. You cannot believe the amount of money that is being tossed around. You look at the quotes on options, and you can't believe some of these quotes. Now, sometimes you say those aren't high enough. Those should be higher. Other times you go, I can't believe they're as high as they are, but I'm not telling anybody. I'm going to keep this to myself. And I'm going to take these dollars. And you guys are taking dollars off of the casino floor, putting it into your bank account, your brokerage account, and saying, I'll give you some of this money back. Don't worry, casino floor. I'll take all these thousands of dollars off the casino floor into my personal trading account, and I will give back some of this money before it's all said and done. Because this option is I've written this option for a short period of time. It's a limited time offer that you've made, to make it in plain English. And you're going to buy those calls back. Of course, the master plan is you want to buy them back for pennies on the dollar if possible, but you might buy them back for a third of the price, a quarter, a tenth, half. You might buy them back in an hour. You might buy them back in 3 hours. You might buy them back the same day you wrote them. You might buy them back the next day, 3 days. You might wait until the last 2 hours of trading of the contract's life to buy them back. It's up to you to decide when to make a partial refund if you're going to do a partial refund. There are some of you who love to write options and love to watch them expire worthless. You'll love doing that. More power to you. Whatever works for you is great. You don't have to give any of the money back if it's an out-of-the-money contract. If it dies out of the money, it's worthless. Now, if you sold it for $6 and it went to zero, well done. But if you sold it for 60 cents and it went to zero, it's still a 100% gain. The catch is, of course, how much money did you bring in when you sold them? How many dollars? And whatever dollars you give back, if any, how much is left over for you? Did you make $40 on a contract and it took a week to make $40? Did you write 100 of those and make $40 a contract? That's adding up. But if it's only 2 or 3 contracts and you made $40-50 a contract, you made $150 this week. Great. But is it going to change your life? Probably not. But okay. Then there are those of you who, you write a call for $3 and you buy them back for 80 cents and you clear 220 and you wrote 10 of them, $2,200 profit. And if that happens every 10, 12, 15 days, that's going to make a difference. Damn right. And I keep coming back to the same thing all the time. You are writing calls that are out of the money, that have no book value, that have time value only, and time is fleeting. It is shrinking quickly. Time passes fast. It's faster when you're long the contract than when you're short the contract. When you write the contract, time moves slowly. When you own the contract and you're watching it depreciate, time is moving too quick. That is life, and that's the way it is. I keep it simple by saying to you guys, write contracts and enjoy. Now, I can help you complicate it a little bit by talking to you about poor man covered calls. Still a conservative kind of a strategy. I can complicate it a bit by talking to you about writing contracts by buying stock on margin and writing more options on that. There's all kinds of ways to do it. But at the end of the day, it comes back to the one thing that Jack Palance always said. Stick to the one thing that you do best and the one thing that you're really here for. And what you're really here for is to learn how the market works, understand the psychology of the market, understand the opposition to you and your success, and then take advantage of every tool available to you to make money work for you and make the odds go well into your favor. And that is where writing options comes in, out of the money for high premiums with short-term time frames. That's where you have the secret weapon of secret weapons, the clock. You're running out the clock on investors, and they know it. Everyone else knows it. Winners on the floor know it. Losers on the floor know it. All the other option writers know it. The brokerage firms know it. This is not a secret. amongst those in the know. The key for you, though, is to keep reminding yourself and not forgetting what it is you are going to utilize as your secret weapon to success: the clock, the expiry date of options. Today is Thursday, September 15th. Contracts die tomorrow and next week, Friday, and the Friday after that, and so on and so on and so on. And every day, contracts shrink in value because time is running out on these contracts. That's the way they're designed. That's the way they're created. Everyone buys into that rule. Okay, rule number one, options expire. And rule number two, you can't change rule number one. If you've ever watched MASH, you know where that quote comes from. In any event, you got to keep it simple. And that's what I'm about. So I'm going all the way back to Gary Vaynerchuk, going all the way back to the video I was watching just before we started here. And Gary is reminding me, hey, buddy, you're a YouTube creator. That's all you are. You're an old stockbroker, and you're going to be 67 shortly, and you've been around a while, and you're still alive. You're a relatively healthy guy. Keep it simple, buddy. Keep it simple and be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. You can't be Casey Neistat. You can't be Billy Crystal. You can't be Johnny Carson. You can't be Gary Vaynerchuk. You can't be anybody else. You can just be Uncle Bruce. And your message is your message, and do it as best as you can to the audience that you've got. There's a reason there are 247 people here. They want the message from Uncle Bruce. That's what they're here for. They're here for the Uncle Bruce message. They're not here for anyone else's message. They're not here for Bruce making to be an impersonator. They want the message from Uncle Bruce, and that's it. And so that's what I will deliver and keep trying to deliver. Every once in a while, I have to figure out where I am and where I'm going and what's happening. And every once in a while, I try to kind of keep you guys on the straight and narrow to make money in the markets. Speaking of the markets, we're up 25 right now on the Dow futures. At the moment, we're noticing that the S&P is off 6, and we're noticing NASDAQ off 42 points. Headline: U.S. futures stocks futures slip after retail sales and jobless claims data. Not surprising to me, I suppose. There's all kinds of ugly news out there from inflation, interest rates, government deficits, currency issues, corporate debt, private debt, public debt, supply chain issues. We've just averted a rail strike by that much overnight. You're not going to hear about how the rail strike was averted by that much by the people who made it happen. You're not going to get that, because it is boring news to talk about a successful thing like that. And so what are you going to get? You're going to get critics of whoever's being a critic for whatever reason, political, business, opportunistic. You're going to get always the negative side of a story, no matter what the story is. The good news for you guys, if you want any good news, there is no rail strike coming up. That is good news. Good news is there's no bad news. And sometimes that's as good as it gets. And you have to just buy into that and go, okay, I get it. It's not Hollywood. This is real life. And in real life, we've averted a rail strike. In Hollywood, if we were making a movie about averting a rail strike, you'd have Brad Pitt at the negotiating table with Tom Hanks at the negotiating table working out a deal, and you'd have a middleman in the middle trying to get it all together, and the music would reach a crescendo, and it would be something else, and at the end, the happy Hollywood ending. In real life, no one's going to mention it, but I'm mentioning it to you because I've been mentioning it to you for days. There could be a rail strike, and it could be really bad. And now I am going to mention to you that the thing that you have to watch out for now, that you didn't have to really watch out for a couple of years ago, and for the last 15, 20 years, it never really came up very often, was a complete shutdown of the economy, because a certain group of employees with certain entities might walk off the job unless they get substantial pay raises because of inflation. And you've got to look for that now. We have to pay attention. This hasn't been normal since the 70s and the 80s. I remember in the late 60s, it all actually started. I couldn't believe it when I was 10, 12, 14, 15 years old. There would be postal strikes every 2-3 years. The postal guys would not show up, and no mail would come to the house or my dad's business for weeks. I mean, these would run 4 weeks, these shutdowns. The postal system 4 weeks ago was like taking all of Amazon, FedEx, UPS, the U.S. Postal Service, all online business, all in one area, and it would be shut down. Can you imagine today in suburbia out there, folks, nothing coming to your house, period, nothing, because the Postal Service was the only service. There were no other services, period. And when it was a national strike, not a regional, it wasn't like just Cincinnati, total country shutdown of the postal system back in the 60s was a total shutdown of America or Canada or the UK or Germany, wherever the strikes took place. And it screwed up all kinds of other countries because importers and exporters, they couldn't bring product in either. It was total. And these postal workers knew they had the economy by the scrotum. They had it. And they were going for 12 and 15% pay raises back in the day. And they would get very good pay raises. The resentment from the rest of the society on postal workers was huge, absolutely huge. And whenever we heard postal workers complaining about the stress of life and all that stuff, everyone else went, tough. You're getting all that money. Screw you bastards. Because you held up my Christmas presents and you wouldn't let me. I couldn't send stuff out. I couldn't get stuff in. I was late on payments because we used the mail. There was no electronic transfer of money back then like there is now. There was nothing like that. It was all done through the mail. We used to get our credit card statements in the mail. We used to get our gas bill in the mail, and we paid it in the mail. When the mail was the thing and we were held hostage by the workers of the postal system, it was a big deal. And in Canada, the federal government would be involved because it's a federal agency that we're dealing with here, and they would have federal back-to-work legislation going in very quickly to put them back to work. It was that important. Those days are over. Those one group of guys, that's over. But the rail strike that we could have had would have been a real problem. It would have been about a $2 billion a day loss to the U.S. economy at a minimum, and it would compound as each day would go by. And you can't have that. But get used to it. We're probably going to hear about car workers going on strike. We might hear about truckers going on strike. We might hear about public servants going on strike. All this. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming because inflation at 7, 8, 9, 10% is causing employees to seek more money. And if it's a one-on-one thing, if it's you and your employer, there is no union. It's just you and your boss, or it's you and your human resources department, or you and a department head. That's one thing. That's a negotiation between you and them. It's different than if it's, say, the entire office of 5,000 people or 250 people. We're all negotiating for an 8% pay raise, and the employer is offering 3.5. If that's not successful, everyone walks out and stays home for a while. That's different. And if it's 50,000 employees through the car industry, that's another matter. And some strikes are so tiny that they don't resonate anywhere. Others are so massive, they get national attention. And so, okay, we've averted the rail strike. It looks like you'd think the market would be sky high today. We've averted the rail strike. Sun changed. We're up 16 on the Dow, down 8 on S&P, and we're down 50 on NASDAQ. All right, that's how the market reacts to that. Because underneath the market, there is some really rough news out there. The housing side of it, looking really bad right now. Mortgage applications, not this bad since 1999. Hasn't been this low since then. That's before the 2007-8 meltdown that was caused by real estate loans going bad. We're talking 1999 now. This is before 2001, September 11th. September 11th was devastating for the economy for a number of months. This is worse than that. This is significant. We're talking about millions of people who make their living negotiating mortgages and putting mortgages together, because you can't just throw a mortgage on a house without a whole bunch of people involved to make that happen. Building inspectors and zoning people and loan officers and managers and realtors and bankers and on and on and on and on it goes, are involved in putting a mortgage together. And if you don't have millions of people applying for a mortgage all the time, which is what you normally have, you're talking about millions of people who are sitting around going, I got nothing to do. I got nothing going on. There's no mortgage applications in the system. It takes a week. When mortgage applications go in, a week later, I get stuff to do. I'm a lawyer, or I'm an assistant to a lawyer. I'm an assistant to an auditor. I'm a credit specialist. I have no credit checks to do. I have no letters to write, no opinions to make. It just goes on and on and on. We're talking a lot of white collar jobs are really quiet right now because the housing refi and finance business is dead in the water. And with 6% mortgage rates, it's gone dead. We're going to 7 now, maybe 7.5 in the next 6 months. It's only going to get worse. And that means people who are desperate to get out of a house because their mortgage is up for renewal right now, and they're going to go from 3% to 6% on their balance, and they know they can't carry it. They're desperate to get out, and there are no buyers because there's no one applying for mortgages. It goes on. It's a chain reaction of crap. This is underpinning or undermining the stock market. You come into town and everything looks normal. What you don't realize is there is a river of muck running underneath the town that is eating away at the foundations of the town. And an hour after you leave town, after having a wonderful cup of coffee and a piece of pie, you're going down the road, and what you don't know is that the town you just left an hour ago is sinking into a massive sinkhole that has been building for months and years, and it isn't there anymore. This is what's happening to the economy of the United States right now. It is being eaten alive underneath. The well-to-do are well-to-do. And if you watch network television and America's Got Talent, everything is great. There's lots of talented Americans who can do whatever they can do. But in the reality of it all, you can't find quality television anymore like you could in the old days, because there are 25,000 networks instead of 4. And so the best of the best are spread out too thin. And you're searching for good quality content on your television set, and you're finding more and more you can't find it on network television or cable television. You're finding it now on Netflix, or you're finding it on here, finding it on there. In the economy, we have got death by 1,000 cuts going on right now, all over the place, invisibly. And it is visible in the real estate market, but it is invisible all the layers below that. The insurance business is getting hit. The refi business is getting hit. Car dealers are getting hit now because customers can't afford the car loan interest rates. Car values are going to sink because there will be fewer buyers and more sellers. It's coming to that point in time. We have got all kinds of issues in all kinds of industries, and it is either in your face or it's invisible to you. And I'm here to just let you in on it that there's problems. We're down 145 on oil. We're not crashing, but we're not going to $125 a barrel with winter coming up. The Dow's off 17 now. The S&P down 12 and NASDAQ down 64. GameStop is down 27 cents to 27.86. And Matt Ing has joined this channel as a member. This is awesome. Gold Bagel member, not just to mention. Thank you, sir. Then Constantine is here as a Gold Bagel member. I think that's a renewal, and I love that. Thank you. Sorry, Matt, you're a Chillin' with Uncle Bruce member. Thank you. Constantine has renewed as a Gold Bagel member. Thank you, both of you, for stepping in and coming into this channel, joining the party that is going on here. Very appreciated. Thank you all so much. Going to be an interesting day. Yes, options expire tomorrow, and of course, some of you are wondering, "Hey, man, I got calls that are like just a little out of the money. What's going to happen to me? What should I do? What do you think I should do?" I've been crossing my arms and patiently waiting for this. Well, we'll see how the market opens this morning. It's certainly not going to open on a barn burner kind of a day, from what I can see here. And we're noticing. Here's another headline, and get ready for this. You're going to get this every week. You're going to get this. Earnings season isn't far off. These stocks are already getting guesstimates cut. That are headlines coming out one after the other about estimates being cut for corporate earnings. And you might see a company get an estimate cut and go, "Oh, well, I don't invest in that, so I don't have to worry about that." Oh, that's a software company. I don't have that with shares. I'm not going to worry about that. But sooner or later, there's going to be an entity that you will care about that has a cutback, that has a new target price. It might be a stock you own, but it might actually be a stock that is connected to a stock you own. And all of a sudden you're going, "Oh, wow, that's why my stock is going down, because it does business with this company, and this company just lowered their earnings." Or analysts lowered earnings estimates. The company hasn't said a damn thing. They didn't say anything, but it's the outside world watching these guys that is saying they're not going to meet their numbers. We get enough of those in enough sectors, you're going to have the markets back off. And the one area you can look for, which people ask me about from time to time, is the price earnings multiple of publicly traded companies. Bruce, PE multiples, what should I be looking for? And I can tell you that PE multiples in many instances are not just a little too high, way too high, way too high. This market will go lower than the June lows by quite a bit as an overall indicator. So the Dow Jones will be lower, the NASDAQ and the S&P will be lower, in my opinion, than they were in June by a bunch. Stocks that you own might not be part of that. Some of the stocks you own are already trading in single digits on PE multiples. They have no reason to fall any further. There might be some sympathetic moves. Market drops 1,200 points, all boats drop with the water level for a while. But then certain ships recover better than others over the next few weeks. But as option writers, you can't ask for a better scenario. You just can't. We have low unemployment. We have raises coming through. So people are going to spend more money because they have to. Gambling will continue in the market because conditions are going to get rougher and rougher. More desperados are going to come into the market, gambling their dough. And you're the casino offering option contracts on assets you own and control. And you're going to be well paid for doing that from the gamblers who are going to be desperate to try to hit a home run ball. It's wonderful. Thank you. Yep, Jennifer says, "I'm watching my $26 GameStop calls, Bruce. Down 23 cents right now. $27.90 is the price of the stock. We opened at 4 minutes. Let's see what this market is going to do today." Here we go. JRP, one of the best things about Gold Bagel, being a Gold Bagel member, is the market alert before this show. Bruce reads the market and gives sage advice. Heads up. Thank you for your kind words so much. FABSS, Mr. F. Very, very few people can make money day trading or selling or buying options for a living. That's true. Buying and selling options for a living, that is almost not doable. I've seen people turn $1 million into $100,000 buying and selling call options. I've seen people come into the market with 30 grand and turn it into 5 grand in 6 months and brag about all the wins they've had, but they're down 25,000 out of their $30,000 because they're buying and selling calls. And their one enemy is the clock. The longer they're in the business, the more the clock eats them alive. What I never saw as a broker back in the 80s was I never had bankers come into my office or hedge fund operators come into my office and sit down in my office and tell me how much money they were making writing calls. You know why they never came into my office to tell me that? They were too busy writing calls and making money. And they didn't need to brag about it to a branch manager with 40 employees at a branch brokerage firm. They need to come talk to me about that. And they didn't go on television and brag about it either. They just quietly went about their business and wrote call options again and again and again. And year in and year out and year in and year out, they brought income into their firms, their hedge fund firms, their pension funds, their mutual fund clients, their insurance companies, their bankers. They brought in money. There were option writers for currencies, for commodities, for stocks, and they're always very, very busy, and they don't have time to talk about it. They're making money, and they have a very successful career doing it if they do it right. And you can become part of this crowd, a very successful group of investors who are conservative option writers. Christina, I'm watching my 25s. They expire next week. The only thing I have expiring this Friday is a $29 GameStop call. Giddy up. We're opening here in a minute, $27.94 last I see on GameStop. The markets are off 40 on the Dow, 15 on S&P, 78 on NASDAQ, oil down 170 a barrel. All right. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. JJ, the real estate sector Spider Fund is down 16% this year. This exchange traded fund is headed into bearish territory. Let's see. Let's go. Okay, folks, thank you all. We're going to shift over now to member-only content. We're going live trading, and during live trading, we like to have our members talk to us and to each other. Thank you all for being part of the show this morning already. Thank you for thumbs ups, everybody. If you've been giving me thumbs ups, I haven't even had time to beg for them yet. I'll get to begging, don't worry. But thank you all for being here and being part of this channel. It is very much appreciated. Let's make some money today. Hope you guys out there make a good buck. 149 thumbs ups. Is that awesome? Yes, it is. I thank you, Larry. Thank you. I think you may have just rung the bells. Is that true? Has Larry rung the bells? Look, yeah, there it is. Thanks, Larry. Appreciate it, buddy. We're up and running, and away we go. JRP, I'm earning just south of $4,000 a month doing this. No money to be made. Give me a break. Rock and roll. Let's make some money for Mr. F. Alex says, I'm making money every week selling options like clockwork. Just got to put some work in and learn the craft. There you go. Anyway, there you have it, guys. Nice to have you all here, guys. Thank you. Let's go. Mirko, I'm number 149. Alberto, let's make some money, says Alex. Adobe opens down $41 today, says Option Nomads. Joe Olivia Forbes, Mr. F, I've been writing contracts for almost 2 years now, and it's saved me and helped pay the bills that entire time. Lorraine, I'm thumbs up number 149. Mirko, thanks, DQ. Nice, like always, laugh out loud. Options Nomads, Adobe. How about that Adobe stock? Isn't that something? Oh, my. I have a feeling someone writes on Adobe. If I recall, I think I know someone that writes options on Adobe. Yes. Oh, isn't it fun? Aaron is saying, on Monday, I was assigned on my HPQ calls because I was assigned and therefore short the stock on the dividend X date. I was obligated to pay the dividend. Bad timing. No worries. The stock likely dropped as much as the dividend you had to pay out. So you're buying it back. You're okay. It's a long game, not a short game. She has that spider call I thought expired out of the money last night. Got exercised after hours. What to buy with all this cash now? What do I do with all the money they just gave me? Oh my gosh. Decisions. Choices. All right, let's take a look at the market and see how we are starting off this morning. We've got the Dow right now off 59 points. At the moment, I got S&P off 17 and NASDAQ down 78. Crude down 164. So here we are at the moment, down to start the morning. GameStop 27.94 down 19, but we are jumping around a lot here. Let me just double check on my computer here. I'm not sure what to believe. 28.67 up 54, down 54. I'll give it a minute or two to figure that out, and we'll figure out what's going on. U.S. industrial output softens in August. Bulletin came out. Dow's down 91 right now, down 19 on the S&P, NASDAQ down 82. Negative news coming out from U.S. economic indicators again. Let's take a look here. GameStop, I'm showing 28.71. I'm not sure if that's very accurate or not. I got 150,000 volume to open the day. 27, the low was 27.88 and the high of 28.79. $1 spread, and it appears to be up 58 cents, I guess. And we'll see how that works its way out. The Dow off 82, Apple down 64, GameStop up 66. Now it's up 50. It's falling again quickly. SoFi is unchanged. Rocket Lab down 3. SoFi looks to be up 2 cents now. HPQ down 18. ME up 2 cents. Matterport down 4. ATIP at 117.5, up a half a penny. SmartRent down 2 cents. Spire is off 7 cents. Cyxtera down 11. Tesla's up 78 cents. Pfizer up 3. Boeing down 117. Cisco down 23. Twitter down 30. Home Depot up 52. Vanik down 143, IBM down $1, Microsoft off 280, Goldman up 160, Google down 68 cents, Amazon down 39. So it's mainly more in red than green. 60-point drop on the Dow at the moment, 15 on S&P, 56 on NASDAQ. Oil down 173. GameStop now 28.78, completely ignoring the pre-market trading, which was negative all morning. 28.78 up 66. At this moment, volume on GameStop now at 28.70 is 190,000. So 45,000 shares pre-split is what's going through at the moment. All right, a little morning pop. We'll see how long that lasts, if it lasts at all, because we're now up 43 cents on GameStop at 28.56. Now 28.50. We're up 37 cents. Again, it's retreating again already. SoFi down a penny. Rocket Lab down 7. HPQ down 25. Red there. Apple down 98. Dow now down 84. We've got a lot of volatility here. Okay. Let's see what else is going on, everybody. Let's go. Jennifer, yeah, I'm showing that for GameStop too. There was a pop. Now it's backing up here. We're only up 30 cents, 28.45, 28.44. GameStop looks to have dropped about 30 cents so far, 35 cents. It's backing off here, but it's doing this. SoFi up 3, Rocket Lab down 3, HPQ down 26, and we're 6 minutes into the market. We're down 75 on the Dow. Nick, I am thumbs up 157. Thank you, everybody, for throwing thumbs ups our way. Let's get to 200 ASAP. Alex, stink bids deployed. I'm thinking of buying back calls today and hope for a pop later or tomorrow. Pukebird PB, I bought Facebook calls, Facebook calls, FB calls, expiring January 24 before it became Meta. Oh, I got you. Okay. They're so far out of the money now that they're worth 10% of what I paid. Should I just keep rolling them? I can't write options against it if it doesn't cover. I mean, if you're out of the money, you can't write on them. So you gotta get in the money contracts if you're going to write poor man covered calls. Now, if you can afford to dump these and buy calls that are in the money and start writing, you will start recovering cash that you've put into this investment. Always be writing if at all possible. So that's what you're going to have to do. Absolutely. If you're out of the money, you're out of the money. Those shares have really taken a haircut in the last 6-8 months. I mean, they have really backed off. All right, that's definitely, you're on the right track, PB. You know what you got to do. HPQ is 26.70, down 34 cents. Now down 36. Rocket Lab down 3. SoFi up 3. GameStop 28.40, still up, but only up 27 cents. We've come down 42 cents. Just dropped to 28.31, a 9-cent drop. GameStop now is up only 18 cents. Apple down 99 cents. The Dow down 94 points. And GameStop now 28.31 to 28.34, 18 to 20 cent gain at the moment is all it's showing. We'll watch. We're obviously going to watch that as always. Here it is. I got some write-off. I got some writes off this morning. Now time for this market to behave rationally, says Coyote. All right. Let's see. 28.25 on GameStop, only up 12. Now 28.18, only up a nickel. This is a complete reversal here. We are now at the days, or we're approaching the day's lows quickly now on GameStop. The market tells me that the low on GameStop was 27.88. I don't know when that was. I don't remember a 27.88 trade. But there could have been at the opening, maybe. We're 28.24 right now, up just 11 cents, heading down at this point. Down 120 on the Dow now, accelerating its loss. 18-point loss on S&P and NASDAQ, down 67. Looks like third of a point for the Dow, half a percentage point for S&P, and 0.6% for NASDAQ. Oil down 159 at the moment. And we're at 28.24 on GameStop now. 28.24, up 11 cents only at this moment in time. Volume on GameStop now is 304,000, which is 75,000 pre-split. SoFi at 619, 618, up 1 penny on 3 million. Quiet start there, but SoFi is getting good press all over the place. Rocket Lab down a nickel, HBQ down 35. AMC and Ape shares are up about 16 cents combined. ME down a penny. Matterport down 1.5. ATIP is at 117.5, up half a penny. SmartRent up 1.5 cents. Spire is down 6.5 cents to 127.5. Cyxtera is down 17. Bed Bath Beyond is up 9 to 8.86. Remember when it was $30 last month? Tesla up 12 cents to 302.73. Pfizer down 12, Boeing down 118, Cisco down 33 to 43.62. The low of 43.57 today. Cisco is near its low of the day right at the moment. Twitter 41.58, down 32 cents. Home Depot down 112. Carvana up 61. Robinhood up 36. Vanik is off 167. The SMH Semiconductor Fund at 205. IBM down 131. Microsoft down 314. Goldman up 156. Google down 35 cents. Amazon down 21. Meta up $1 at 152. BlackBerry up 2 cents. Royal Caribbean up 158 to 50.52. Puts might be on tap for Royal Caribbean. Anytime you go over 50, there might be puts in your future. Unbelievable. But you got to make sure they are not too expensive. U.S. Steel down 3 cents to 20.40. I know somebody that's into this stuff on a short basis, and they're right at zero right now, 20.43 unchanged. Will be interesting to see if this stock coughs up some ground today, or will it recover a little bit of the losses they've sustained lately. We'll find out. The Dow right now off 110, S&P down 18, NASDAQ down 67. That's what we're at here. Target is up 269. JP Morgan up 57. Costco down $2. Walmart down 42. Nvidia down 71. Disney is up 33 cents. American Airlines up 18 cents to 14.20. Netflix up $11 this morning. Moderna down 185 to 137.54. The Dow now a 60-point loss. A little computer buy program is kicking in. 51-point loss, with Apple down 49 cents. GameStop 28.37, 28.24 to 28.37 seems to be the range. 25 to 35 cent gain. At 28.38 right now, up a quarter from what I can tell you. SoFi just popped, it's up a dime. Rocket Lab just popped, it's up a dime. HBQ is still down 37 cents. Okay, let's see. Jennifer, I'm holding 1,700 SoFi shares, so hope it pops. No calls written on them right now. SoFi's up 11. Shorted GameStop at 28.69, says Mirko. 28.69, we're 28.32 and 24. Looks like we're going back again. We might be going negative again on GameStop. We'll see. The Dow is still down 40. S&P down 7. NASDAQ down 23. 2023. U.S. industrial output downshifts in August, says a headline. Interesting there. All right. FL, Uncle Bruce, I don't want to get anyone too riled up, but I wanted to let you know that I'm up 2% on my Manchester United investment. I now introduce myself now as a successful sports team investor. Nice going, FL. Welcome to the side of billionaires. Well done. Nazareth, 27.88 open today for GameStop, and we're at 28.25 right now, up 12 cents after topping out at 28.82. Interesting day. I bought 10 puts on GameStop, says Christina. I bought them. Mirko buying back around 27.50 or so, hopefully fast 900. Well, 28.25, you'll easily make money here. Definitely making money. 28.24 to 28.30. Oh, you're trying to get them at 27.50. I got you. You're looking okay. Gotcha. The stock is coming your way bit by bit, Mirko. It seems to be anyway. The Dow right now is off 19.5. Apple down 41. S&P down 7. Nasdaq down 23. Oil down 180 at the moment. Okay, everybody? Welcome to the party, kids. I don't see the markets going for a great run today. I just don't see it. I think there's more negative direction. But we are going to get these hedge fund program buying waves, whether long or short, are coming into this market. We will see 100-point swings on the Dow all the time. That's just now normal. We're at 31,122. So a 100-point move on a 31,000-point market. Chump change. 1% is 310 points. To move 100, that's a third of a percentage point. That's a nothing burger. We're down 11 on the Dow right now. 28.26 on GameStop. 28.26 at the moment on GameStop, near the lower end of its range on 383,000 shares. There's no volume here. It opened with a couple 100,000, and now it's not trading at all. It's really quiet. 28.22 up 9. 28.19 up 6. We're dropping again. Interesting morning. All right. 28.19 at the moment on GameStop. The Dow is down 6.3 points right here. Interesting times. Okay. Thank you all for being here, hanging out with us. It's great to see you. Great to have you here. Heard this morning that the latest reports out of China are due at any time the next couple of days. Economic output from China will be released. Experts are saying, watchers, there's no way that China is even making it to their revised downward numbers. They had indicated that they would have a 3.5% growth rate when they originally talked 5.5% to 6%, and where they really want to get 8 to 10% growth. Analysts are saying China is not hitting even 3.5. They might even be at 0, like flat. This is a devastating reading for neighbors of China. That is bad news for Vietnam, South Korea, Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines. If the Chinese economy is not growing at all, that puts the neighboring countries around China into recession. They're so interlinked with Chinese activity. And of course, European markets, European businesses will suffer because exports to China will back off. America, not so much, because it's a 10-to-1 imbalance. America imports 10 times as much as it exports in dollars to China. And so America won't be hit as bad as other countries that have a 50-50 arrangement or 60-40 or even more. China is not consuming because it doesn't need raw materials. That is going to devastate countries around it. It'll be most interesting to see how this plays. Mirko, I see 185,000 traded on GameStop. Lord of Floods. Can't hear you, Mirko, since the opening, so that's like real quiet. Yeah, we're talking really quiet. If you can't hear me, it's not me, it's you. Check your systems, check your settings, see what's causing the lack of volume. Volume is fine here, I believe. Of course, I can't hear you. I can only read you. What can I say? Thank you all for being here. We have 166 thumbs ups, everybody. Thank you for helping out with that. If there are 34 of you out there, out of the 256 watching, that can throw a thumbs ups our way, please do it right now for us. We'd like to get to 200 right away if we can. 168 are here. We need 32 more thumbs ups to make 200 for the morning, and I appreciate it if you can find that thumbs up button, hit it for us. There's 170 now, 30 away from 200. Thank you. 28, 32 to 35 on GameStop. The Dow off 28 again. A little further slump. SoFi holding on with a 14-cent gain, 631. Very good. 176 thumbs ups. 24 left to go. Thank you, guys. Thank you for throwing in these thumbs ups. 178 are here. 22 needed to get us to 200. Thank you all. 28-23 now on GameStop, up a thin dime. That is all. 28-23 is what it's doing. We'll see what gives here. Spread between 2 and 10-year Treasury yield shrinks below minus 40 basis points in a worrisome sign of economic outlook. Welcome to the party, pal. 180 on the thumbs up, 20 to go. 181, 19 left, and we've got 200 thumbs up. So you guys are great. Just brought in a bunch of them. Keep them coming, guys. We need 19 more thumbs ups, and we've got 200 for the morning session. Thank you very, very much. 182 are in, 18 left to get. The GameStop, 28-38, up a quarter. Trying to hang out, trying to hang on. We'll see if this lasts. I personally don't think so. In any event, that's what we got. The Dow right now just went green with another buy wave. We went from negative 23 to positive 63. I keep telling you, 100-point swings are a nothing burger now for the Dow. Don't read too much into this. S&P is up 3. NASDAQ is up 9.6. We got these buy waves coming through, computer generated. This is not natural. A whole bunch of people running to their brokerage firms wanting to buy stock. This is all computer generated, initiated trading faster than you and I can even think. And these reversals are just as violent as the gains. 28.55 on GameStop, up 42 cents, trying a little run. 28.51, up 38. It's jumping a bit. Apple down 26 cents. At the moment, the Dow now down, only up 38 as it's backing off again. Just almost impossible to peg it. It is just nuts. 28.45 now on GameStop. It's backing off again. And this will, I think, continue to happen. My personal opinion. All righty. Thank you. These thumbs ups keep coming in. Thank you, guys. We have 184 in, 16 to go to get to 200 thumbs ups. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Keep them coming. And let's see. It looks like it looks like our friend who couldn't hear me can now hear me. It was me. He says, it was me. Let's see. Thank you, Hawkeye, for these thumbs ups. We have got 172 and counting. I believe you, but should I trust you if I don't hear you? I mean, what's going on? Beach Boy is asking. And let's see. Let's see. Karim, I wrote a call yesterday. I'm looking to get exercised right on. 28.58 on GameStop, up 45 cents. The Dow up 48 right now. Oil down 268 a barrel. Just dropped a buck here in a little while. 85.86 on oil. Another down day right there. All righty, everyone. Let's go. Let's go. And there you have it. DQ, repeat after me. Serenity now, serenity now, serenity now, says Beach Boy. Serenity now. Rock and roll, kids. All righty. Oh, man. All righty, guys. Thanks for being here. We're up 68 on the Dow. Apple down 23 cents. GameStop 28.61 now. 28.61 up 48 cents. And there you go. Okay. Alrighty. Repeat after me, DQ says. Repeat after me. I'm bad at following directions. All right, HPQ down just 11 now. We have ME up a dime, Matterport up 7, ATIP up a half a penny, SmartRent up 2, Spire down 11, Cyxtera down 8, Tesla up 272, Pfizer's up 12, Boeing is up 12 cents, Cisco only down 11 now. Cisco got to 43.57. It's now 43.85. Cisco's coming back on, just down 11 cents. They backed off a little bit yesterday, and now they came back a lot yesterday evening, and now they dipped this morning and coming back on again. But a few days ago, on the 12th of September, just 3 days ago, they were 46.66, and we're 43.84 right now on Cisco. A month ago, back on August 18th, they were 49.66. And in the last 6 months, they've gone from the 56 level, March 18, to 43. So this is a haircut, but a 15-time earning multiple on Cisco does not make them that overpriced anymore. So this is the kind of stock you can buy deep in the money calls on. You can probably pick up 35s, 36s, 34s. These calls should run you well under $1,000 each, and you can write calls on this stock, write 44s, 45s perhaps for a few weeks out, and take in some money on that investment. 43.82 on Cisco, down 14 cents. We'll watch to see if it recovers anymore. Twitter down 37, Home Depot up $1. It's gone green. Carvana is up $1.40. Vanik up a dime, IBM down 122, Microsoft still down $2. Goldman up 5.74, Google up a nickel, Amazon up 120. They both turned around. There you go. The Dow up 73, Apple still down 19, and GameStop up 38 cents to 28.51. Going nowhere fast on GameStop. SoFi holding a 21 cent gain, 638, looking good. GameStop 525,000 volume. That's what I show at the moment. That would be 100 and about 7,000 shares pre-split, 186,000 pre. So that is dead quiet, man. That is really dead quiet. 28.51, unsustainable at this price with that low of volume. It will drop. That's my hunch. Am I right? Am I wrong? We'll find out. Let's go. 2-year Treasury yields are rising in anticipation of the Federal Reserve raising rates. That is not surprising at all. Right now, the 10-year is at 3.449, and it is heading for 3.5 and more. It will go there. All bonds are rising between U.S., Germany, Italy, Spain, and UK. Yields are rising. Bonds are falling. Currencies, euro is at par. The pound back to 115. Not great. European markets right now are negative. 1/10 of a point in London, 4/10 in Germany, almost a percentage point in France. We've got negative rates, negative returns on markets this morning out of Europe. The U.S. markets are positive at the moment, but barely 0.08 of a percentage point for S&P and NASDAQ, where the Dow is up right now 72 points. 0.23 of a percentage point is all the Dow can manage at this point with this market. Now it's up 66. Alrighty. GameStop, 28.51. 28.51 on GameStop, up 42 cents. The high of the day, 28.82 is the high of the day. The low seems to be indicating 27.86. So we're 63 cents away from the low of the day at the moment, and about 30-something cents away from the high, 33 cents from the high. That's where we're at on GameStop. Not much movement yet on it at all. SoFi up 20 cents to 637, looking good. Rocket Lab 578 up 7 cents. HPQ down 14 now, 26.90. With Matterport down a half a penny. ME is up 8.5. ATIP is up a half. SmartRent unchanged. Spire still down 11 cents to 123. And Cyxtera down 12 cents. The spread between ATIP and Spire is interesting. ATIP is at 117.5. Spire $1.23. We're at 5.5 cents away from the two stocks meeting each other way down here. So theoretically, if it's possible for you to buy Spire way down at these levels and then turn around and write Spire calls, 250s for January 2024. The question I have is, can you get 30 cents for a Spire contract to buy more Spire? That is what I'm wondering. Right now it's 123 down 11, the low of the day of 122. And I'm going to look at the options market for Spire and see if I can get the January 2024s to pop up. There they are. I don't see 250s. I see threes. Okay. So $3 contracts for January 2024. They're 20 to 30. So if you can get them off at 30 cents, that would be a good right. Score 30 cents on a $3 call for Spire. You buy the stock at 123 now, buy 1,000 shares, we'll run you $1,230. Write 10 calls for 30 cents each. If you get the 30, that's $300. And you can almost buy 300 more shares just from the proceeds. Put in a few dollars, get 300, write 3 calls for another $90, and you end up with 1,300 shares for the price of 1,000. And you're offering them up for $3 each between now and Jan 2024. And you're saying to the market, come and take me out. I dare you. You can have 1,300 at $3. That's $3,900. I only put up $1,239, and I kicked in a couple of bucks to get those extra 300s. That's a nice return on your money for now in January 2024. Of course, Spire is one. The other one, ATIP, buying them at 117, writing calls for January 2024, the 250s, and getting 35 cents, maybe 40 for those. Buy more stock, write more calls. Buy more stock, write more calls. Why not? Average yourself down if you're into them and have them give you 30% more for free from option writers. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Absolutely nothing wrong with that move. I say take the dough. Thank you very much. Love being here. Good times. January 24. Interesting strategy there. All right. Welcome one, welcome all to the show. The Dow right now is up 133, 136. Trying a little run here. The Dow trying to do a run. We're up 12 on S&P, 38 on NASDAQ. Oil down 250 at the moment. We've got the Apple still down 27 cents. GameStop at 28.61 now, up 48 cents it would appear. We've got SoFi at 644, up 27 cents. Very good. Rocket Lab 578, up 7. HPQ 26.87, down 17 cents at this point in time. All right. Let's do that over here. Okay, there we go. 27.57 on GameStop. Breaking news coming out of the Wall Street Journal. Mortgage rates hit 6.02%, the highest since the financial crisis. And already higher rates are forcing some would-be buyers to continue renting or to skip and go elsewhere. It's a 6% mortgage, a jolt to home buyers who last year were paying less than half of that. The average rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage, 6.02, up from 5.89 last week and 2.86 a year ago. That is not good. Last time they were this high, the heart of the 2008 financial crisis, when the U.S. was in a deep recession. Is that waking people up? The jump in mortgage rates is one of the most pronounced effects of the Federal Reserve's campaign to curb inflation by lifting the cost of borrowing for consumers and businesses. Already, it has ushered in a sea change in the housing market by adding hundreds of dollars or more to the monthly cost of a potential buyer's mortgage payment, slowing what was a red-hot market not so long ago. Higher rates were forcing some would-be buyers to continue renting. Other buyers are skimping elsewhere to make their mortgage payments. The Fed is in a delicate dance. Investors hope it can cool the economy without tipping the U.S. into recession. The Fed is expected to keep rising rates aggressively when it meets next week. Mortgage rates were around 3% when one couple went into a contract to buy a home in Rogers, Arkansas last year. By the time their house was nearing completion this summer, they were staring at well above 5%. When rates started going up, it got a little scary, said the couple. They had put down a non-refundable deposit with their builder, so they moved ahead with the purchase. They locked in a mortgage at 5.5% in mid-July, then got it to float down to 5% when rates briefly dipped in the following weeks. They closed on their house and moved in with their two daughters this month, although they've yet to sell their old house. They opted to borrow from an online lender a local bank said was offering rates above 6%. It shows you what is going on out there with mortgages. There are people scrambling to try to find a way to make it work. Not good. We're up 71 on the Dow, apparently. Let me double check on that. Up 85 on the Dow, 4.7 on S&P, NASDAQ up 11. Those are slipping a little bit, though, at the moment. Down $2.48 on oil at $86 a barrel, kids. 28.47 on GameStop. No, 28.24 on GameStop. We're only up 11 again. GameStop is backing off yet again to these lower levels. We're definitely in the lower half of today's trading range now on GameStop. Volume on GameStop coming into 35 minutes of trading, 647,000. That's not good. That's 160,000 pre-split. We are talking dead in the water. We're at 28.25 to 28.30 right now, up just 17 cents for the session. Apple now negative 77 cents. It's going further lower with the Dow holding a 91-point gain. Apple is not moving the Dow up. It's moving the down. Let's go. Home price declines will likely continue, says Freddie Mac, as mortgages exceed 6%. Boy, are they getting that right. 28.25 up 12 cents on GameStop now. We're backing up again. SoFi, 642 up 24. Nice going. 22-cent loss on HPQ at the moment. Over at Cisco, we're down 20. Boeing up 83. Pfizer down just 4 cents. Home Depot up only 9. IBM 144 lower. Microsoft down 281. Goldman holding a 639 gain, $333. Google down 3 cents, but Amazon is holding a gain of 152. Meta Platforms up 218. Royal Caribbean up 231 to 51.25 on Royal Caribbean stock. U.S. Steel a 34-cent gain to 20.77 now 20.81 up 38. This is just off the high today of 21.04 set about 20 minutes ago. 20.81 on U.S. Steel at the moment. Target up 3.33. JP Morgan up 2. Costco up 47 cents. Walmart down 6. Nvidia's up 14. Moderna down $1 to 138.38 right now, and the Dow at the moment up 82 at this point in time, kids. Thank you all for joining in. Nice to see you all. We've got the thumbs up meter now. Oh, we're getting close. 193 thumbs ups. Thank you all for that. 7 away from 200 thumbs ups. Thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate it. Story coming out on Social Security checks might be a lot bigger next year. Let's say cost of living spike is coming. The bad news, though, that could also push security recipients into higher tax brackets, resulting in about half of all households paying taxes on their benefits. Interesting. The average projected adjustment will raise the average Social Security retirement benefit by $144. Taxes are burdensome, says Senior Citizens League people, and its vital income is being taxed away, and it can be burdensome with serious repercussions on what people need to make it. If you file an individual tax return and your income is between $25,000 and $34,000, you may have to pay income tax on up to 50% of your benefits. The percentage rises to 85% if your income is more than $34,000. For couples filing jointly with between $32,000 and $44,000, you may have to pay income tax on up to 50% of your benefits. It jumps to 85% if your joint income is $44,000. 85%. These are the same tax brackets, benchmarks, as in 1984. They have not adjusted those for inflation. You think that these ancient senators who are in their 70s and 80s would be right on top of this? They're not. They're allowing people to get screwed with 1984 tax brackets in 2020. Wow, that is criminal, really bad. It's too bad. It's unbelievable. Half of recipients now will pay taxes on their benefits because of this. That's up from 10% in 1984. Unbelievable. Had they adjusted the thresholds for inflation, the $25,000 single filer level would now be about $72,000, and the $32,000 joint filer level would be $93,000. Boy, is this way behind. That's unbelievable. It's sad. It's really pathetic. The government gives and then takes it right away, and no one is doing a damn thing about it. Unbelievable. That's too bad. 28.25 on GameStop was what we had for a moment or so. We're at 28.44 now on GameStop. The Dow is holding a 74-point gain at the moment. Headline, Democrats raise more money than Republicans in 9 out of 10 competitive Senate races, channeling voter energy after Roe was overturned. We felt that coming. We've seen it, and that is likely to be maintained. Very interesting to see how this works. We've got the Dow up 87 right now, Apple down 71, GameStop up 39 cents to 28.52, SoFi up 26 cents to 6.42 right now. Welcome one and all to the show, the channel. I'm glad you're all here. Let's see how we are going to do, everyone. What else is going on here? Let's see. Looks like SoFi is having a cute little pop, licking my chops to sell some $10 covered calls for January 23, says the Credit Savage. Let's go. DQ says, Beach Boy, I need some serenity. DQ, I think I'm going to stop watching markets for a few minutes. I need serenity now. If anyone uses SoFi Investments, Financial Mischief is saying, do not look at the holdings this morning. I opened my investment account to find that I'm down $4.2 million. I didn't even know I had $4.2 million. Congratulations. Beach Boy says, that depends. Are you an architect and import-exporter? Oh, man. The Credit Savage is saying, I don't want to sound too braggadocious, but I bought RBLX at 21, and it's now more than twice what I paid for it. And those covered calls I'm selling are as juicy as GameStop for anyone looking at stocks with high volatility. And the Beach Boy is saying, credit, you had me at not. Christina, credit, I have a $45 January 2024 Roblex. Let's see. Credit Savage. You see what I did there? Michael H. Anyone write SoFi 6.5s for next Friday? Let's see. What else is going on here? Let's see. Credit service. I can't wait for GameStop to run to $40 so I can buy more and sell it at 25. Let's see. Coyote Credit Service. I got assigned on a $39 call back during the GameStop run. Think about that a lot. Laugh out loud. Hope he enjoyed the purchase. As the Credit Service. Speaking of Serenity, have you guys ever watched the show Firefly? Probably the best show ever. Nick, thanks for your rant this morning, Uncle Bruce. It was a ton of good info on staying within your means and reminding me that the stock market is a war of attrition. Right on, Nick. You're entirely welcome, sir. Thank you for being part of this channel as one of my members. It's great to have you all here today. We're up 85 on the Dow, but only 85. Apple down 56 cents. It's not participating in this rally. GameStop is holding a 57-cent gain at 28.70 or something like that. Is it trying to be near the high? Trying to head to 28.82, 28.73 right now. On light volume, not much going on. Nick, I have definitely lost money this year from making mistakes, but I'm learning thanks to Uncle Bruce chat and the classes. Right on, Nick. Way to go, pal. It only gets better. Believe me, it will just get better. We're up 89 on the Dow. We're up 7 on S&P and 24 on NASDAQ. GameStop 28.72 at the moment, up 59 cents. SoFi 646, up 28 cents. Yeah, nice to see SoFi improving on 11.4 million. This is approaching some of the best levels in a while. We were at 644 on September 12th. We've now broken that. And prior to that, being above 640 would have been August 25th. So it's a while. It's been a while since SoFi has been around here. If it can get to 650, we're coming back to August levels again, and maybe higher. We'll see if it keeps going. Let's go, SoFi. Let's just go. Christina, CNBC this morning was ragging on Apple and the chips. Hawkeye, the Credit Savage of Wall Street, Firefly is the bomb. Loves that show. Up 80 on the Dow. Apple is down 61 cents to 154.70. Credit Savage, to all of you folks that think you've lost money in this market because you bought stock high, just average down. Buy more, lots of it. This is when wealth is made. Goldman, Chase, Vanguard are all buying low. We've got a 93-point gain on the Dow now, 51-point drop on Apple. GameStop, 28.74 to 75, now 28.77. Trying to hit a new high here. GameStop's trying to hit a new high of the day. 28.82 is the high, and it's just below that right now. 60-cent gain, though, 65. SoFi, 646, up 29. Rocket Lab down 18. It's reversed. It got up to 593 today. And then Rocket Lab has given it back to now be at 554. So there's almost a 40-cent drop in 20 minutes on Rocket Lab. Unfortunately, that's what's going on over there. HPQ is recovering. It's back to 27, down just 4 cents. We've got ME up 11.5 now to 344. We got Matterport up 2. ATIP at 118, SmartRent 294.5 up 1.5, Spire still down at 122, 123 make it down 11, Cyxtera down 13 to 542 right now a share. Bed Bath Beyond up 43 at 920, Tesla up 540 to 308. We have Pfizer right now up a penny finally, going green. Boeing up 133. Cisco coming on a little, still down 22 though, 43.74. Twitter down 13. Home Depot down 80, up 82 on Home Depot. Carvana up 211. Robinhood up 66. Vanik up a quarter. IBM still down $1.60. Microsoft down $3.38, and Goldman up $7. Interesting markets. Up 108 on the Dow. Now 101. And GameStop at 28.80. Did we just set a new high? Yeah, 28.93 for GameStop was touched We're at 28.80 right at the moment. We've touched a new high for the morning, 28.92 right now, 796,000, just under 200,000 pre-split. Beach Boy, the truth is, since I started watching Uncle Bruce, my Netflix time declined sharply. Firefly and Saul Goodman notwithstanding. Let's see. Alberto is saying hello and trying to make money and everything else. Welcome all to the channel and to the fun going on right now. We've got high of the day on GameStop, 28.98. Right now at 28.96, trying to get to 29. Can it do it? We'll see. We've taken a shot from 28.25 to 28.96 in about 15 minutes. To me, I think it's unsustainable, but hey, you know, what can I say? It is what it is. Credit Savage, Uncle Bruce, people are telling me that I should save more money in the bank. For some reason, all my paychecks find their way into my brokerage account. I keep buying more of our SPACs. Am I doing it right? I think you are. Beach Boy, you better call Saul, says Coyote. Dude, what covered calls can everyone, what covered calls everyone can buy low? Thanks, Uncle Bruce. With covered calls, everyone can buy low. Thanks, Uncle B. Got it, dude. I can't read today. Obviously, Credit Service, you don't need a criminal lawyer. You need a criminal lawyer. Best line ever. Alberto, pre-split. Damn, I've been busy and missing it. Beach Boy, say my name. Say my name, please. Oh, my goodness. 113-point gain on Dow. Apple down 15 cents, trying to break even. GameStop 28.99 with a high of 29.07. Now 29.03. Alrighty, there's where we're at the moment. Thank you, everybody, for being here and hanging out with the Dow attempting a little rally after dropping 1,200 points the other day. We're up 108 on the Dow. All right, GameStop 29.05, trying to hit new highs. They've been up to, we've got them up to 29.07 so far, 29.03 to 05 at the moment. HPQ still down a nickel, but getting closer, getting a little closer to the break-even mark. Cisco still down 24, down 3 on Pfizer. Tesla up $6. Dow now up just 87. Okay. Interesting market. Very interesting market today. As usual, tomorrow is option expiry day. And Karim, so Uncle Bruce, so what's the idea with long-dated call writing as far as buying them back? Like whenever you want, after a percentage, what, when, talk to me. Depends, Karim. If you wrote a long-dated call because you were doing a rollover, then you've got to keep in mind, well, what did I sell those calls for originally? What did I buy them back for? What did I sell these for? Where's my numbers? You can think that way. You can also think another way, and you can say to yourself, look, if I did a rollover, it's because my shares went up in value. The shares that are represented by the calls I'm writing, they went up. I'm either long stock or I'm long deep in the money calls. I mean, one way or the other, I'm exposed to this up move to my benefit. The downside of it is, what did I write calls for? What price? And what do I have to buy them back for? And what can I write new calls for further out? Now, a week goes by, a month goes by, whatever amount of time goes by, and you're sitting there going, you know, I did this rollover. I bought calls I wrote calls for $3. I bought them back for $5. I wrote new calls for $6. They're now at $3. What should I do now? Well, if a month has gone by or stock has leveled off a little or backed off a little, these deep in the money or deep down the line calls may have backed off nicely. And you could be in a position where you could roll into calls that have a much shorter time frame to live. And it's just a break-even transaction. You're going to buy back calls for $3 or $4 that you wrote for $5 or $6, and you're going to write new calls for the same price. But those calls might have a lower strike price, a little closer to the market, and they have a much shorter time frame to live, which means each day passing now has a greater impact on the value of the time value on these calls, shrinking them quicker. And that could be your salvation. That could be your strategy to say, yeah, okay, I wrote these at 650. I'm buying them at 450. I'm rolling into shorter term calls. And in about a week or two or three from now, like within 3 weeks, they could be already $3 just on shrinkage. Within, they're only 6-week calls. And so every week, 1/6 is evaporating into the air because we are, of the 350 price that I sold them for, $1.50 was book value, and the rest was time value. And that time value is shrinking out beautifully. That's what I'm looking for. Of course, you make a move like that, and dang it, if the shares don't go up again, those dang old shares you have and those deep in the money calls on that decent quality company you have, the stock's going up in price because it's a good company. You don't mind. You don't mind. It's okay, you say. Go higher. Put these calls more in the money. I will do another rollover. I will buy these back and sell deeper out in time calls for maybe a higher strike price for just as much money or more money. And if you can do the rollover where you bring in more money into your account, you're being compensated for the time you're giving up for the new calls. But again, a week or two later, the shares back off. You're doing what? A reverse rollover. You are buying those back lower to write new calls that have shorter time frames for the same money or a little more. You're constantly adjusting your portfolio. But at the end of the day, if over a year your shares started here, like here, and ended up here, and during that time frame, you wrote, bought back, rolled over, bought back, 25 times you've done this, likely scenario is you're richer because your stock was here and it's now here, or you're deep in the money calls, and you made money with all those option transactions. It's a double win. That's the name of the game here. You never stop writing. Credit Savage, not enough volume for GameStop to go anywhere. I think if it's $30, I'm going to roll over to October. Nick, Uncle Bruce, a question on SoFi. I had written December 16, 7 strikes for 65. Now it's going up to 75, 78. Should I roll over now or do nothing? Well, we're at 643. These are December calls. I would do nothing. A 15-cent drop, and these could lose a nickel very quickly and be back into the 70 range, 69 range, and you're right about there. 40-cent drop, a really lousy day on the markets, 1,200-point drop. These drop 60 cents. Your calls will be 50 cents. Buy them back. Wait to write again. On the other hand, look, if you want to buy these back December 16th and then write further out, same strike price, be my guest, or can you write further out 750s? But right now, I would not do anything. I would not. This is all time premium out of the money contracts. So no, wouldn't do anything. A Credit Savage, Kareem, the whole point of selling LEAP covered calls is to raise cash. You can buy whenever you want, but remember that your premium is time. You can only roll over to 2025 now. At some point, you will wait or buy back. Ed, thoughts on writing a 7.5 call for SoFi, January 23 for 72. Does this sound familiar? I can write 10 of these with a 620 share buy price. What do you think, Bruce? Should I write 7.5s for January 23 and bring in this money? That goes against my buy price. It brings me down to 550. If they take me out, they're taking me out for 750. Plus, I keep the 72 cents. I get taken out for 812. Theoretically, yes. In practicality terms, have you noticed the shares go up in 2 days from the 5s to this level? What about the next 2 days? Could they reach 7.25? Would you be comfortable having just written a 72-cent call that is now 20 cents out of the money? Would you be that comfortable with a January 2023 call? you might want to hold off a little and go, Bruce, I think maybe I'm going to let these shares show me what they're made of, because we're at 639, 640. We've got the 650 already today. We've traded 14 million here. We could be running the 750 in the next week. Maybe I should think about writing nines for January at 70, 80 cents. Then maybe that's what I should do, and not limit myself way down here. This is just me talking. It's up to you. JRP Firefly was an awesome sci-fi series. Nathan Fillion is a bomb. Credit Savage, Nick, don't be fickle. Do nothing. Just let time pass by and a few months recess, unless you need to raise capital. Ed bought 100 SoFi at 620, and if exercised, I'd be taken out at 830. I know. I know. Is there something wrong with that trade? No. Nothing wrong with that trade. You made money. You can do that trade. You could theoretically write the calls, take the money, and buy more stock and write more calls. If you can do enough of them, you might want to do that. SoFi looks good today, says Constantine. Credit Savage of Wall Street. Firefly was amazing. The whole crew was awesome. People love TV shows. Look, Ed, I bought 1,000 SoFi at 620. At $7.50 call for 72 would put me at 830 if exercise, right? What are your thoughts? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you sell 10 calls and get $720, you can buy another 100 shares right now and write another call. That'll get you 1,100 shares. So now you own 1,100, and you could be taken out at 750 on 1,100. That would give you more money, right? That would give you 8,250 on top of this, on everything else. Not a bad move for a $6,200 purchase. Alex, I love Firefly too. It's in my top 5. Nick, thanks, Uncle B. Now, if X drops below 20, why did it pop? Why did it pop today? Coyote Ed, that is correct. What's the date on those 7.5s? JRP, did I hear you say that when a stock pops down like ADBE, it has to write calls on the money? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking to me or somebody else? Coyote, Jan 2023 is what he's thinking about date-wise. We're down 28 on the Dow, by the way. We've gone red again. Try to keep up with this market with 100-point swings all the time. The Dow down 30-something points. Another, nosebleed run on a roller coaster. Apple down 154. It is definitely backing off at the low of the day right now. This is the low of the day for Apple. We're at 28.70 on GameStop. We were at 29.07. We're now 28.70. So we've backed off 37 cents in, 10 minutes? SoFi 640, still holding a 23-cent gain. Rocket Lab down 13. HPQ, 21-cent down dip again, 26.84. ME holding a 6-cent gain. Matterport down 4. ATIP 117.5. Smart Rent 290. Spire 122 down 12. Pfizer down 6. Cisco down 37 cents again. And another wave of selling has come in. IBM down 217. Microsoft down 443. Goldman up 422, but it was up more. Google down $1. Amazon up 19 cents. There you go. The markets have given up a plus 100 plus gain. Again, 100-point move, like nothing. It's a nothing burger around here. It's the new normal. 256 drop on oil, 85.92 on oil, dropping. All right. Natural gas supplies, 77 billion higher. Natural gas is down 8.5% today in price. That is affecting oil. Lots of energy around. Again, there is no shortage of oil. There is no shortage of natural gas. There's lots of it. It's a question, is it in the right place or not? In Europe, it's in the wrong place. It should be in storage tanks in Europe. A lot of it is. But there should be a bunch of gas coming from Russia, and there isn't. But oil, it's everywhere. There's oil all over the place. All right. What else is going on here? DQ, Nick, the rail strike averted. That's the news over there. Alex, Ed, I'm thinking bigger about SoFi, $30 to $50, eventually $100. Not thinking $750. There you go. Credit Savage. Uncle Bruce, it's hilarious to me how oil keeps dropping, and yet we're paying $6.50 a gallon in San Francisco. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I hear you there. Nick, it is a freaking rig market. Every time I buy on the long side, it goes against me. Every time I short the stock again, it goes against me. I just can't win, says Nick. Sell my house fast enough tomorrow. It's 10:30 Eastern time. Europe just closed. How did they end their day in Europe? Looking at that, we are down 28 on the Dow. Europe, 1/3, 0.31% right now gain in London, 0.18 of a percentage point gain in Germany, and France is down 0.38 of a percentage point. It's a mixed bag, and it's very little movement, virtually nothing over there. They're not going anywhere. The Dow now down 36 points, S&P down 19, NASDAQ down 78, oil down 266 a barrel at the moment. All right, 28.64 on GameStop. That is 41 cents down from the high of the day 15, 20 minutes ago. 28.64 at the moment on GameStop. The volume on GameStop now, 1,029,000. So 250,000 pre-split volume, dead quiet on that stock. Don't be fooled with 1 million shares of volume. That is dead volume. 28.64. The Dow down 17, Apple down 158. SoFi at 638, up 20, but it had been 650. Rocket Lab down 20 cents. HPQ down 18 at the moment. We've got selling coming in. Cisco down 38 at the moment as well. IBM down $2. Microsoft down 5. Google down $1. Amazon is right at the flat line here. Meta down 30 cents. U.S. Steel down 3 to 2040. Go U.S. Steel, go. Drop for Nick. 2040 down 3 cents for U.S. Steel. It had its run to 21.04 and it's over. It's given up 64 cents now. Here, that's a 3% drop on U.S. Steel down here to -3 on the day. Interesting to watch that stock, how it reacts to all kinds of effects and efforts and outside forces. Costco down $1, Walmart down 50, Nvidia down 120, and Moderna down 250 a share. Anyone writing those 140 calls on Moderna is a genius. Anyone who does that, anyone lives in Pittsburgh that writes 140 Moderna calls, I think is a bona fide genius. Beautiful stuff. Thank you all for being here. We're coming up to the 2-hour mark on this show, and I got to tell you, you guys are great. Thank you all for being here. It's just great that you are being with us. I appreciate it. Thank you for those of you who have become members of this channel, whether you became members today, sometime this past week, whether you've been members for quite some time, whether you've been members right from the beginning. I love you all. Thank you so much. The backbone of this channel, the members. You guys are great, keeping us on the air. We love it. We're going to keep talking plain English, what's going on in the markets, and we're going to try to stick to our lane and try to pass it on to all of you. Stick to what you know best. Be yourself and don't be someone else. Learn how to write call options and stick to the lane of writing calls. Do not waver. Do not flinch. Don't take it personally. Just make money. It's that simple. There you go. Way to go, everybody. Let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, Coyote, 250,000 pre-split trading after an hour trading. Wow. JRP, I think you said that on Adobe. It would be very hard to write out of the money calls. That would mean that to take advantage of that drop, I would have to write in the money, correct? On Adobe, I don't know if did I really say it? I don't remember this. You can write calls on Adobe. You've always been able to do that. It's just a question of where you think they're headed. I'm not sure how to respond to this. I don't recall this comment. Mirko, maybe we should inverse Nick and DQ and we'll be rich real quick. Nick is just frustrated. He usually makes good money. Let's go here. Credit Savage. It seems like institutions profited from GameStop last week, but individual investors like us profited the most. This is the legit news. These covered calls we sell are definitely a reason why we make a pretty penny. Constantine, thank you, Uncle Bruce, for your kindness and your wisdom. Well, thank you. FL, stick to what you know. That buying sports teams for me. That means I'm buying sports teams. Christina, I tried to roll fast. I bought back my 25s that expire next Friday for $4.39. And it drops. Well, 28.80 is where we're at right now. 28.80 on GameStop. So hadn't done that. Hasn't dropped that much, but you're doing what you're doing. I got it. I see what you're up to. 28.78 on the GameStop. The Dow is up 23 again after being down again. The S&P is down 12. NASDAQ down 52. Oil down 270 now, dropping even more. Even more. The EIA reports a bigger than expected weekly climb in U.S. natural gas supplies, more than thought. That's why oil is dropping along with natural gas today. Let's see what happens. Nick is frustrated today. There's no doubt about it. Nick is really frustrated. U.S. Steel right now, 2040 down 3 cents, 2037 down 6. Go! Drop those shares for Nick. Nick wants to buy them back at 19 or 18 or 17. They're at 2037 down 6 cents a share. U.S. Steel, there they go again, 2035 down 8. Go, Nick, go, buddy. I hope you can make money today. Tons of money. Way to go, man. 27-point gain on the Dow, down 1. Apple down 143. Bruce is hiccuping. What can I say? GameStop up 60 cents to 28.73 at the moment. The high of 29.07. Welcome all to the party. Nice to have you all here. HPQ coming back again, only down 2 cents, 27.02 on HPQ. Cisco still down 30 at 43.66. The low today, 43.52. There you go. Okay, guys. Let's go. And Christina is saying, I'm trying to move it back 1 week and get close to my buyback price. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Gotcha. Constantine, I wrote 11 GameStop cover calls, $29 for next week, Friday. Interesting how it's going to look around Wednesday. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to look. Karim is saying, come on, X, give it to Nick. Let's go. Drop that sucker. Nick, if I don't make money on this short, it is okay. I just want my capital back. Right on, but well, a drop is a drop. Maybe the drop will keep coming for Nick here. 2037 down 6 cents on U.S. Steel. Down, hopefully it goes. Yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, keeping an eye on everything. How it's going out there. Thank you all. We're coming up to we're past the 2 hour mark on this show. We're up 29 on the Dow. We're still down on the S&P and NASDAQ. Oil down 270. That is the deal there. And U.S. stocks wavered as investors reacted. Data deluge. Lots of data coming out. Credit Savage. Okay, folks, I got to run. I got to pay attention at work now. You guys take care. Uncle Bruce, thank you for everything. Have a good day, folks. You guys take care. We're going to take a break here, and I'll be back with you for the final hour of trading today for sure. And thank you all for your kind words. Thank you for joining this channel. Those of you who joined up today and re-upped, you guys are awesome. Thank you all. We love it. Appreciate that, and have a great afternoon. Keep an eye on your markets and make dough. John Anderson, thanks everybody. Thank you, John. GameStop 28.69 here, up 56. SoFi 642, up 24, hanging in there. HPQ down just 3 cents. Okay, guys. Thank you, Uncle B, says Constantine. Thank you all. I'll catch you this afternoon at 3. Goodbye from Calgary.